I call to order the September 11th, 2024 meeting of the Leechburg Area School Board.
It's echo.
We're going to pause for a second here.
Real far lag.
Can you hear us, Melanie? Hello?
I thought you muted it.
Melanie, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, hold on. It was echoing in here. We're going to try it. Let's keep going. We'll see if it's echoing. Did it sound all right for you?
Yeah, I can hear you clear. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence.
For a moment of silence, could we please have a moment of silence in honor of the victims of 9/11 and also in memory for the loss of our former board member, Karen Galino.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Roll call, please. Here.
Mr. Dunlire? Mrs. Knight?
Here.
Mr. Lefish?
Here.
Mr. Lovelace?
Here.
Mr. Maxson?
Here.
Mr. Paulus?
Here.
Ms. Stewart?
Here.
Mr. Thompson?
Here.
An executive session was conducted prior to the public meeting at 6:30 p.m. on September 11, 2024 in the Leechburg Superintendent's Office to discuss legal issues, contracts, personnel, and board relations. Do we have any public comment on agenda items this evening? Administrative reports, Dr. Vargo.
Good evening. Just want to give you an update. So far we've had a great start to the school year. I conducted class meetings with each of the grade levels. During those meetings, we talked about rules, regulations, expectations. I also discussed my thoughts on leadership and how to be an elite person. So for the middle school is a little bit different than the high school, but it had the same gist and the same alignment for those items. The new metal detectors with the new protocols, I should say. At first, it was a bit of a challenge. We were, it was taking a little bit longer, but then once we split entrances, kids have been getting in plenty of time, with taking their items out of the book bags, and we seem to have that honed in, so that's working well. The seminar period protocol, we worked with this over the in-service days. So we have sign-in procedures, staff supervision throughout the hallways, a way to administer bus passes, and then obviously for students who need to get on the bus, what they need to do while they're on there, so we don't have students kind of using it as a taxi service, and that we have kids accounted for, and kids who were here need rides to go home. I also conducted department head meetings. These will be conducted once a month, and then after those, later in the month, you'll get department meetings. So a major point during these meetings for the department heads were we're talking about reviewing and cleaning up some of the things in the curriculum guide, prerequisites, and grade weighting. So I do have some concerns when discussing about our grade weighting that, we've been kind of bouncing around in the department head meetings. And I just feel that our students might be at a competitive disadvantage against other students in other districts. The reason for that is just because we give a 0.06 add-on at the end of a student's, in essence, 12th grade year, and that gets put on for their weighted GPA. Where that's in conflict or maybe not quite as advantageous is for other districts who give a 1-point quality point or a multiplier that puts either kids at a 5.0 if you get an A in an AP college and high school class, or something close to that, a 4.48, whatever that might be. Our 0.06 add-on doesn't quite get to that point. Now, I will say that, I sometimes have a hard time wrapping my head around, being 1 point over perfect. However, that is kind of what the name of the game is right now. And we just want to have students who, to be on even footing when it comes to that. So, as we kind of gear through this and kind of root through that and work through it, I'm just kind of prepping for the education committee meeting in January that will have some type of proposal with those items on there for your review to see if we can move forward with it or if we can we'll keep it the same. I'd just like to thank Dr. Linkus and the flexibility in the seniors going to the college fair today. I know there were some challenges there. I'm a little shocked that the seniors did not want to eat lunch with the middle school students. They ate in here. I can't imagine why, but we persevered through that. So I do appreciate the flexibility and professionalism to get our students that experience. And then Student of the Month, we'll begin that in October. And additionally, this is something we've been discussing with the department heads and other staff members about criteria to help us be aligned with the type of characteristics and behaviors that line and support the mission statement and things that we want to see, come out in our students. So those are things that we've been working through here in the first couple of weeks of school. Are there any questions on any of the items? Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mr. Barker?
All right, from an IT perspective, we also had a good, pretty smooth start to the school year, which was great. No major issues, which I was thrilled about. We saved about $25,000 from this year's IT budget on reallocating some hardware purchases. So at the last meeting, we had approved purchase of 60 Chromebooks and 40 workstations for about $75,000. And we took a closer look and we found that we could reuse some of the hardware that we had. So we actually bought 40 Chromebooks and 25 workstations for $50,000. And we're going to make sure that we put money into next year's budget to cover the remainder. So that $25,000 savings, we're going to be able to reallocate to other hardware needs, which is great. Some of that might be going to E-Rate, which is a program you might be familiar with, where 80% of the cost of the hardware purchased through E-Rate is covered by grants. So we only have to pay 20%, which is nice. One other thing that we've been focused on from an IT perspective is getting more efficient with forms and eliminating some of the paper. So some examples are in the high school now, we have parents completing electronic forms for excuses and early dismissals they can see in PowerSchool, which is nice. And we've gotten good feedback from both the staff and from the parents on that. Also, some contractors, when they sign into the building, those are going to be electronic forms that are easier to track and easier to manage rather than paper-based forms. Also, Chromebook insurance, so that we've enhanced a form for Chromebook insurance, and we found that some parents that we've heard aren't in the Chromebook insurance program yet. So we're going to get some information out soon, just as a reminder for those people who haven't taken advantage of that. It's a pretty nice program with only $25 for the year. It would cover a lot of unexpected expenses for students. So we're going to make a push for that. And then the last thing is people are doing a great job using our ticketing system. They can call it extension if you're in the building to log an IT support ticket. Over the last month, we've closed 258 tickets, so which is great. And just for the month of August, there were 238. And I ran a report, and that's the second highest month we've ever had, which is great. It doesn't mean that there are more problems. It just means that people are doing a good job submitting tickets instead of going, an email or like a phone call that you can't track or prioritize. So that's my report. Any questions? All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Mr. Komar?
So the first couple weeks have gone really well in the elementary. Everything's been really smooth, and the couple hiccups that we've had, I think we've done a really good job of coming together as a team. I appreciate the support from Dr. Keebler, Dr. Vargo as well, and kind of working through things in a team effort, and same with the teacher level, and just trying to work through the minor problems that we've had. But I'd say students are getting back into good routines. We're getting back into good routines, so all smooth there. This Friday is the elementary night at the football game. So we've been putting word out, try to get as many elementary students at that game. They're going to make a tunnel that the football players are going to run through, which is cool. So I'll be excited to see that. And the elementary students get free admission with a paid adult into the game too. So September 26th is the PTA-sponsored laser light show, so looking forward to that event. And then I know it's into October, but October 7th is Fire Prevention Week, so we'll be partnering with the Leechburg Volunteer Fire Department and doing some activities, events here at the school, and they have some goodies for the kids too, which is great to do some community partnerships. For professional learning communities, we had our data meetings today for each grade level. So I was able to get all those in today. It was a big push and a lot of meetings, but we were really able to do some deep dives into some data and discuss, some of the successes and challenges and, put together our groups for our win or what I need time at each grade level. For special ed, the month of September, we'll have 15 IEP meetings, 1 GIEP meeting, and 1 504 meeting. I met with special ed, it seems like a couple hours ago, but I haven't left. But at the end of the day, I met with the special ed department, and everything seems like it's going smooth. Everybody's adapted to us being much less paper dependent and being a lot more utilizing the technologies that we have. So everything seems to be really smooth on the special ed side. We had our first MTSS meeting. We did have one student MTSS, looking at some behavioral challenges with that student and coming up again, looking as a team to come up with some strategies to help that student out. And I'm very confident we'll be able to do that. So, any questions for me? Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mets Environmental.
Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's doing good tonight. So just want to let you guys know, first weeks of school, so far so good. No major vandalism or destruction, knock on wood so far. So seems like we definitely got a quieter crowd this year so far, but I'm not going to, we'll see how the year goes. Also, so I'm sure everybody is aware of the situation we had Friday night. Dr. Keebler and I talked for a minute. Just want to thank my team for being proactive in that and letting me know so I can get that information in so we could be prepared on Monday for that. So with that being said, definitely trying to look into some more safety issues with the school. So one of the things I'm looking into right now to prevent anybody from maybe putting something somewhere that it shouldn't be, I contacted North American Fencing. I'm looking into putting a fence around our dumpsters so nobody has access to those. We're also looking into maybe relocating them. We haven't decided on that yet. We got to see if it makes sense to put them in the back behind the cafeteria to see if trucks and deliveries are going to be hindered by that or not, and also trash pickup there. But we want to make sure those are taken care of. So I'm also looking into cable locks to put over the doors temporarily until we find a solution to keep anybody out of those dumpsters, just in case they want to set something there that shouldn't be there. I also called Digital Graphics Designs. They're coming out next Thursday. We're going to go over a lot of the windows on this level to try to get the graphics kind of like how we have down at the elementary office on the window. So nobody can see in, but we can still continue to see out. That's going to be another thing we're looking into. Also, Friganisk was able to get us the prototype. I'm just trying to get him out here for the railing up at the football stadium. As soon as he is able to come out here, we'll attach that to one of the bleachers and we'll see how people like it and go from there. So other than that, me and Dr. Keebler were able to talk to Eric from McClure today. Hopefully he'll be out here next month to give a presentation with these grants coming out so we can start moving with some of these repairs with the buildings with or without that funding and start planning ahead. So if there's any other questions, let me know.
Thank you, Adam.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Tess Deal.
Hello, good evening. My name is Tess Steele. I'm the food service director. This is my first board meeting, so nice to officially meet everybody. And just like everyone else said, great start to the new year. Very exciting. All my staff came back ready. We have our new dish machine that was installed at the beginning of June, so that was very exciting. It's going great. We're looking forward to our new cafeteria tables as well. That's going to be very exciting, the logo tables in the cafeteria. I have a couple things upcoming the next few months for the kids, the students. I have our nutrition educator. She's an RD. Her name is Tori. I have her scheduled to come out in October. She's going to do a tasting in the cafeteria for the elementary students. So some fun and educational material opportunity for the students to try something maybe they've never had before. My plan is to have her come out once again in the spring, do something maybe with the high school, middle school, or have her come out more often if it's a hit and see how we can utilize her. I have been also trying to work on incorporating new menu items with our great collaboration we had last year with the 5th grade student council. I'm taking those ideas and still running with them. I look forward to working with the new group of 5th grade student councils and the now 6th graders who see me every day and say hi. And their feedback is like nothing else. So I've incorporated just more healthier options for them. They wanted heartier things for breakfast, things to keep them full longer, some granola, some more like egg and like bagel sandwiches type things, not necessarily all the sweets and the donuts, which they love. So trying to incorporate new items for them, get everybody engaged and just serve more meals. And last but not least, our meal counts right now, it's still a little too early to tell. They're very comparable though to last year at the start of the year. I anticipate with all these new and exciting fun things that they will just continue to go up. So if nobody has any questions for me, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Business report, Mr. Sessa.
I just want to have a brief discussion on what I've done in 3 weeks. Just basically been getting my feet on the ground, putting some faces to names, learning software, and learning where to find things within the office and in our electronic files. Obviously, we had a gap a little bit between last business manager and myself, so I'm playing a little bit of catch up. I'm starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel, and hopefully this week, next week, be pretty much caught back up to speed. And a lot of that time has been in playing catch up, has been with getting access to websites to be able to file reports, look up information. So I think in doing that, I think I contributed to Barker's 258 tickets significantly. So I want to thank Barker, who's been a tremendous help to me. And again, we'll be caught up soon. And I know there's certain reports that you typically have seen on a monthly basis, and I'm working on those currently and should be caught back up to speed in the next week or two. So with that, that's what I have. And obviously in the upcoming months, we have the financial reports due to the state by the end of November. I did communicate with the auditors regarding planning and timing coming up in October and November. So, upcoming meetings, I'll have more information on where we stand with those and how we're progressing. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
The LEA President report, Mrs. Mondo.
Good evening and happy September. The first grade students have been working hard to earn their Blue Devil bucks, and they've been learning about daily classroom routines and expectations, as well as discovering what it means to be part of a community. And their teachers are very excited for the students to see what first grade has in store for them. Fourth grade students are starting the year strong, earning their Blue Devil bucks, and their school-wide PBS program is often running in a very good way. In reading class, they're reading about Flora and Ulysses, a story about a squirrel who gets super strength by being sucked up into a vacuum. And they're enjoying that fantasy story. In social studies, the fourth graders are learning about the regions of PA and animals native to each region and the natural resources we have here in the Commonwealth. In science, they spent their first couple weeks establishing what it means to be a scientist and an engineer. With the new steel standards in science, there's been a lot of change to the science curriculum, but that's been going over really well in the first couple weeks, and their conversations have been making them think more on a deeper level, which is what we all want for our students. Fifth grade math class has been discussing the importance of perseverance when solving word problems. I never had that conversation, but I would have liked that. Maybe I'd be better at math. And they've been working in small groups to solve their problems. The students in K through 5 are working on a school-wide collaboration for their first art project, and the students were rotating through the art room to explore different art mediums. And they're cutting up what they created and reassembling them in a collaborative quilt. So that should be on display soon. The Creation Cafe created a delightful welcome back snack for the staff that was much appreciated, and they're opening this Friday, and everybody can't wait to see what the specials are. The chemistry students are recording smelly observations of compounds, elements, and mixtures and predicting chemical products. All the seniors have updated their personal resume, written and submitted their personal essays as part of the application process for whatever they are doing once they leave these hallowed halls. So they are ready for that step. As Dr. Vargo, that's right, it's a good job, boys. As Dr. Vargo mentioned, Dr. Linkus took the majority of the seniors to the Career and College Fair at Armstrong. They came back very excited. It was a joy. Coach Hebrank and the volleyball team secured their first section win last night. They're off to a great start. The football team is kicking butt on the gridiron. They're up against Riverview this week. Save the date, homecoming is Friday the 11th. And on a personal note, I just want to thank the administration for a very nice start to the school year. The vibe is good here, and I think everybody is where they need to be, and we are doing wonderful things. Any questions for me? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. A motion is needed to approve the meeting minutes for the month of August 2024 as submitted.
Motion. Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Lagging again.
Okay, we have, these are discussion items. So we have the resignation of employee number 864, that's a retroactive approval. 24, 25 non-athletic supplementals. The spring athletic coaches and game day workers, any discussion on any of those items? Detention monitors, custodial substitutes, and the volunteer list for September 2024. Do we have any discussion on any of those items? We have discussion on the quotes for the cafeteria tables. Discussion on the Questec E-rate agreement for 24-25. We have the HUDL agreement. This is for the software and camera system. Any discussion on that? Financial reports, any discussion? Any discussion on the use of facilities requests? We have the third grade outdoor discovery center at Crooked Creek on October 30th, 2024. Band chorus field trip to Boston, March 12th through the 15th, 2025. The homecoming dance, Dr. Vargo and Dr. Linkus, Westmoreland County Forum for Workforce Development. Any discussion on any of those items?
I'm glad to see there's a homecoming dance. That's all I want to say about that. Maybe there was one last year and I didn't know it, but I just think that was there one last year? No, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad. I just wanted to add that.
Dr. Linkus School Counselor Workshop, Dr. Linkus Aaron IU 28 Counselor Collaborative Group, Leechburg High School Chorus Mariana's Hoagie fundraiser, and the David Leach Elementary Building Plan. This is for Title I. Any discussion on any of those items?
No, the elementary building plan was quite extensive. I was reading that. That was good.
It is added too, so that goes with our, it's a yearly plan that has to be submitted with that, and it looks at all the data as we submit our federal programs every summer. So it's due to be submitted as submitted, and it just needs board approval to backdate it on there so that it's getting it. But yeah, they really have changed what they've done. That was just added 3 years ago that it went into that much in depth of and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm reading it, and it's like, oh, there's more, but no, it was, I liked it. I thought it was
It
good.
gives us a nice footprint
Dr. Keebler, Superintendent's Report.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to start off with extending some sympathies. As we said earlier, Ms. Ferlino, former board member, recently passed away. Dr. Matson, who was our executive director at the IU, passed away last week, which was a huge hit to our IU moving forward. So the board up there will continue to plan as we go through with that. So it's a major loss to us there. I just want to thank all of the staff, starting with, maintenance, custodian, kitchen staff, our bus drivers, paraprofessionals, especially the teachers and my administrative team. Those of you that are in this room right now who just did your reports, we truly couldn't be where we're at without each of you here. So I want to thank you for getting the school year started and really getting us moving forward with that. The door updates, we have all of our internal doors that are replaced with the locks, which were part of our PCCD grant. We've had a little bit of issues of making sure that they're keyed correctly. For instance, we have a closet down in the gymnasium that will be keyed for the coaches, that they'll be able to get into that closet as well as the team room, but they won't be able to get into any of the other areas with that. So it's really trying to tighten down the security so we know who's where and what keys are there. I got the keys in my closet, and people have to come through me to get the keys for the building anymore. We probably have 1,000 master keys from the old ones that were out there. So that will no longer happen. So I thank Adam for that work with that. We've really been working with them. Probably about 25% of the exterior doors, maybe more, done. They'll be here over the next couple of weeks as they change those exterior doors. And hopefully by the end of the month, that project will be complete. As Dr. Vargo said, the arrival procedures, we did open a second door on Siberian, which is on the other side of the cafeteria. It really cut down the line. The first couple of days, the kids were backed up, and they're slow coming through, taking everything out of their bag to start with. But by opening another door and being able to split it up, it really has helped out with that time. So I look forward to continuing that process and making sure everybody's safe as we get in. Today I met with some representatives of People's Gas. They're doing a gas line right here on Siberian Avenue, which was going to really disrupt us. It would have been a great project for the summer, but I do want to thank them. They were able to work with us. So they will be doing that work on October 14th and November 1st when we have in-service days. So that when the roads close down, we won't have kids here. I'll put a message out to the community when we have those days as well, so that we have that. We have a PCCD grant that is due this month, and the district will be allotted $112,000 that will go for safety. We're looking at possibly putting in for new metal detectors. Our metal detectors, the main ones, are about 12 years old. Also new radios. We have 5 new radios, 25 old radios. We got a new repeater. We would like to make sure that we have 30 that are all brand new on that part to go through there. And then any additional technology, doors or cameras, whatever we can get, what's left as I write that grant. So I'll start that. It's due the 26th of this month, but that's a great added piece that the state had released for us to have some extra safety. As Mr. Cessna said, we have some FERs that are coming up through federal programs. I've been working with him. I want to thank him for, we're finally on the same page of knowing where stuff's at, pulling it out on that. So we're really moving forward on that part. Our comprehensive plan was returned for the induction plan. It was green whenever I submitted it, and it was done prior to me taking over. We did the other part of it. So I am reworking that right now. It'll be submitted. It's not due till mid-October. I'm hoping to have it done by the end of the month so that it can be resubmitted. Once that's done, then it'll check back. We can finish our strategic plan that we worked on and have that documented done. So I apologize for any delays in that. I wasn't a part of that. I knew it was there, and it's on me that I didn't check that before I submitted it with that, but we will get it fixed. Global Technology was on today. We had them here. We have panic buttons that were on there, and we're able to get everybody on board with what the look is on if we have an emergency, what goes on with that. It was a nice opportunity to make sure we had contacts that were incorrect, that nobody in the district really knew who had them. So it was just one more of those layers of the onion that we peeled off, that we're getting to the bottom of the base of who's there, and our contacts are all the same. So that's a good thing. I want to thank Mr. Barker. We worked on Google Sheets for sign-ins. So our subs now are coming in. As they come in, they'll sign in electronically, which will then be shared with our business office. It'll be shared with ESS, who does the placement of them. In the past, we had to then have the secretaries call the business office. The business office was going into the computer, putting them in what position they were in, and it was a lot of time and work on that. So I think this process will really streamline it, and it'll be able to have a checks and balance for what we're doing with that. We received information today from Ronex so that I can start the end of the year state transportation report. It's due by the end of the month, and I will start working on that. We got the VIN numbers in the buses. It's just a state report of the years of the buses, the VINs on there, miles with kids, miles without it, and it really is what gets our calculations for our reimbursement for transportation. As Adam said, we met with Eric from McClure today. The upside last month, we approved the AAR for the new boilers. He did confirm he's going to work with that warranty to cover the relays that were on there that we were looking for. So that will be covered. So that bill will come down. Once again, we approved it with solicitor's approval. So once I get the new bill, I'll have our solicitor approve it, and then we can have that work done as well. He's also working with us. We got to get a hold of Tremco and PA Roofing. We have the roof on the gym that has a big puddle on it that one of the rifts or whatever they called it. What's it called? Cricket. I'm sorry. I was thinking rift. So one of the crickets that moved the water into the drain, it busted down. So we're going to get them to come in. There's another puddle on it that at one point it was like 10, 12 inches deep and it hadn't rained for a week. So I want to make sure we get them up there. That's still under warranty work, but we want to get that moving forward with it. I do want to thank the Westmoreland County Commissioners as well as Camden Porterfield, who is the Chief Assessor for Westmoreland County. As we've talked about everything in West Leechburg over the last 8 months with that, Camden was able to dig down into what the calculations were being used by STEB, and STEB really is just putting the formula out with that. He was able to dig down. He gave us a 6-page report after he talked with STEB that's we're looking at a recalculation with that. So where we're stuck at right now, and I'm hoping to have answers by the next board meeting, I've been reaching out to the state, just like everything else at the state level. PDE doesn't return things real quickly, phone calls or any contacts with that. But we're looking to see how we implement that. The news on that looks really good on paper, but I don't want to really bring anything totally out till we have some finalized pieces of that. But going along with that, on the 17th, we have our appeal for the 2022 properties. As we went through the review of our properties, we have 2 properties that were on there that we will be appealing. I believe we have accreditation that it will be approved. So what will happen is they'll reset the 2022 market values, which will then reset the 2023 market values, which will then be implemented on the 2024 moving forward with that. So it should help. It's not going to be a drastic change, but it will help a little bit on some of those pieces with that. But really, we're going to continue to look to see what we can do with that. I have another meeting at the end of the month with the commissioners to review what we have and see what we can do with that. And I do want to thank everybody who helped me, as Adam said, over the weekend. If you've seen the news today, there were many schools on lockdowns. It's an unfortunate time in education right now, but we take every threat seriously with that. I apologize to the parents in our community who maybe wanted more information with that, but just want to be frank about how I will handle those situations with that. I will share what is needed with it. I don't want to release too much, but ultimately it's my job to make sure everybody's child is safe when they get there. If I had any doubt going through that, we would not have been coming to school that day. I would have had a virtual day or we would have closed. So I just want to reiterate that again, that, you know, I treat every child in our district as my own kids and would never put them in harm that we would know of with that. So hopefully we don't deal with this anymore. We got a national letter today that there was a Snapchat going around the whole United States with that part of it. So I don't know where it'll end at with this part, but we will investigate each piece of those as we go forward with that. The last time this happened last year, it was coming from overseas where they actually stole someone's Snapchat and were going out there. So hopefully we're done with these, but seeing the news over the last couple of days, we will be on top of it as a district. Anybody have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. We have the bus schedule changes. These are discussion items also. Bus drivers and bus substitutes updated list and the land bank agreement. Any discussion on any of those items? We have the PEMCO cafeteria tables. Oh, sorry, this is an action item. A motion is needed to approve the contract with PEMCO for the new cafeteria tables.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion. Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion is needed to accept the resignation of employee number 738 effective August 21st, 2024. This is a retroactive approval.
864. It's written wrong in the motion. It's 864 in the top
Oh.
part.
It's different numbers.
Okay, is it 864 or 738, Dr. Keebler?
Hold on, say that again. I'm sorry.
So the numbers on the employee number don't align. We just need to verify.
864 is what we talked about in
Thank
the discussion.
Okay, so let's try that again.
Oh, I see where you're at.
Yeah.
it
A
should be
motion
864.
is needed to accept the resignation of employee number 864 effective August 21st, 2024, retroactive approval.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion is needed to approve the HUDL agreement for the 2024-2025 school year.
Motion. Second.
Discussion?
That is the football.
Yeah, that's the
okay.
house for football games, and we apologize if you late 1 month on that. I wanted to be approved here so they don't shut it down. So we have
Right, so we have it. I just wanted the public to know that that's what the huddle agreement is. They do a good job.
Yeah,
Because I've watched.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion is needed to approve Victoria Query as the Assistant Band Director for the 24-25 school year.
So moved.
Second. Third, fourth, fifth.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. A motion is needed to withdraw participation in the intergovernmental cooperation agreement and memorandum of understanding between the Redevelopment Authority of the County of Armstrong, Leechburg Borough, and the Leechburg Area School District as submitted.
So moved.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And do we have any public comments on non-agenda items? The next,
Do we have old business or
Do
what
you-
happened to old business?
it's never been on here,
Okay, it's just something that
but if you want to talk, go
Oh,
for
I'd
it.
love to.
Please do. We should add that and we can, yeah.
Just so that, yeah, I just want to ask what we decided about the 1 or 2 meetings a month.
So, yeah, I can have it. So what my recommendation was that we hold the second meeting this month, and then we look at October and November, which would be 2 months that we try to 1 meeting. It would be a 6 PM start for agenda setting with the voting meeting immediately following that date, or that time. So if we need to recess for 5 minutes in between, we'd start, and then it would be a voting meeting right after. That would give us 2 months, and then when we set the calendar for the following year in December, we would know what direction we want to go.
So does this become a voting item?
It'll be voted at the second meeting.
Yeah, so
Yes.
September 25th.
Yep, on the 25th, I'll put on the agenda as that with the dates and the times for those meetings.
All right, thanks.
So this affects 2 meetings, like we said, now for the rest of the year, and we can test it and see how the board feels about it. If it doesn't work, we can discuss it.
No, that's all I have.
Thank you. The next regular board meeting will be held September 25th, 2024 at 7 PM in the Leechburg High School Library. Motion is needed to adjourn the meeting.
Motion?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned at 7:52.
Almost every time. Sometimes people beat me. It's just become like a little game. I mean, it's childish, but it's fun.